So hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining our session. Today is about EdTech, enhancing learning with Hypothesis Video Annotations. I'm very happy to have Christie DeCarolis with us. She is the Customer Success Manager at Hypothesis. And Christie, go ahead. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, David, and thanks everyone for joining today. So today I'll be talking about enhancing learning with Hypothesis Video Annotation. I would love to start out if everyone could just put yes or no in the chat if you know what Hypothesis does, just because I want to make sure everyone has the same kind of background information. So again, if you know what Hypothesis does, can you put yes? And if you don't know, you could put no. And then I'll pop the slides into the chat. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. So I want to start with a quick intro, but since we do have folks that are familiar with Hypothesis, then I won't go kind of deep into an overview of what it is. We can really focus on using video with Hypothesis. We had some intros in the chat. Like David said, my name is Christie DeCarolis. I'm a customer success manager here at Hypothesis, and my background is in instructional design. I also adjunct and I use Hypothesis in my own teaching. So I really like to connect everything to pedagogy and, why incorporating these tools into our courses will help student learning. So I'm going to skip over this part since it seems like everyone here is familiar with Hypothesis and have started using it before. I will throw a little bit about universal design for learning into this session because I do think the multimedia features like annotating YouTube video really tie in to the concepts of universal design for learning, which is basically just, designing our teaching in a way to reach the broadest number of students and kind of meeting students where they are. Because like I said, don't want people to be introducing tools into their course for the sake of introducing tools. We want to really connect that back to our good teaching strategies and how we're going to better help students learn. So in connecting it to UDL, one of the key principles of UDL is providing multiple means of representation to students. Basically, what that means is offering different types of course material to your students throughout the course. So not just focusing and providing information through text, through reading, because not all students are going to best understand a concept through reading. So maybe they'll better understand it if they can learn about it by reading something and watching a video, or reading something and looking at a related diagram. So that multiple means of representation can really be complemented by some of the features that Hypothesis has, like the YouTube video annotation. So Hypothesis offers multimedia options in what you annotate. So now you can annotate a document or a video, and also how you annotate. So students and faculty can annotate, add in their annotations, images or video as well. So there are different ways that you can bring in those multiple means of representation. I think it can help clarify concepts and vocabulary that are part of the texts, and you can also guide through the students through reading in this way. So like I mentioned, our YouTube integration brings multiple means of representation into the classroom. And I do have some resources on YouTube video annotation in the slide deck that will be helpful to reference after this. So let me just show you briefly how the video annotation works, and then we can dive into how to set it up and kind of use it in your course. So I have an example here of a YouTube video embedded into a Hypothesis-enabled document, and basically what this lets me do is I can play the YouTube video on the same screen where I can see its transcript in the center here. And I have the video muted, so it's not talking over me, but it would normally have sound. And the transcript will auto scroll with the video narration. So you see that this first box kind of has a white highlight behind it, and that's moving. So that's following along with what the speaker is saying. And I can follow along with the narration along with the text. If I wanted to annotate, I could click pause to stop that narration, stop the video, and then select the text that I want to annotate and annotate like I would on any kind of other hypothesis document. So the actual process of annotating is the same. It's just that you are annotating the transcript instead of the text of the document. And once I am ready to begin playing that video again, I can hit play and continue on. And the annotations themselves behave very similarly to how they do on a traditional text-based document. I can click on an annotation and it will bring me to that part of the transcript. I can also click on that part of the transcript and it will scrub forward to that part of the video. So I can hop around both the video and the annotations pretty easily if I want to see what students are commenting on. Or if I'm a student, if I want to review a very specific part of the video, this is a really great way that I can kind of make a note about, oh, like this is a good explanation of this thing, or, you know, something that I might want to go back to later and more easily find that. I see Dr. Brown's question that this is for any video with captions. Yes, so there does have to be a transcript on the YouTube video, and we are pulling the transcript from YouTube itself. So I would definitely encourage everyone to review the quality of the transcript before using a video in your course, because that can be an accessibility concern as well, that you are using a transcript that has quality transcriptions. I know not every video is going to have even spoken narration. So in the future, we hope to expand this beyond video with transcripts. We also hope to have more opportunities for videos on other streaming platforms. So I'm not sure if UDC uses a streaming service like Kaltura or Panopto, but we're hoping to have other services as well.
Yeah, we do use Kaltura.
Kaltura, okay.
That's good to know. Perfect.
Yeah, we have started talking to Kaltura already, so hopefully we make good progress with that, because I know then you have a little bit more control over like, how the video is displaying and things like that.
And Christy, I have a quick question. So I know some faculty members have told me, does this work for unlisted videos on YouTube?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's exactly what I was going to kind of mention next, because I know some people don't want to put necessarily their lecture content publicly available on YouTube, but you can use an unlisted video. The only restriction that there is, besides the fact that it does have to have a transcript, is that it can't be age restricted. So I think when you go to upload a video, it's going to ask you, like, is this content for kids? If you said yes, then I don't think it would work with Hypothesis, because there's no way for our app to verify the ages of people who are watching the videos. So those are kind of the major restrictions. And that YouTube knowledge base article that's linked here will go over like what the video has to have to work with Hypothesis.
Excellent. Thank you.
So we do have, there's a video demonstration that shows how annotating a video works that you could always share with your students as well. The article, the knowledge base article, walks you through the steps for setting this up, and then a video annotation starter assignment. If you would like some ideas on how to prompt your students to annotate, you can find some sample instructions here. So you could always adapt these for your course or use them as they are, you know, whatever works best for you. That is a resource that's linked on that slide as well. Are there any other questions about just the basics of how the YouTube annotation works?
Yeah, no questions from the group, but I see this as a great use case. Let's say we have students doing like an introduction of themselves at the beginning of class. Maybe they upload that to YouTube, and then other people can kind of annotate or ask questions based on how they introduce themselves or what they talk about.
Yeah, that's a great idea, David. I love it as a way to make videos engaging without putting a lot of extra labor on faculty. I know personally, it's really hard to build engagement into videos.
Yep.
You know, either I'm assessing students by creating a quiz for them to take after, which I hate creating those kinds of questions. Because again, I'm like really targeting specific content in the video then. Like I'm picking what they should pay attention to or what they should be reacting to. So I think this is a great way of kind of opening up the conversation more and letting them have more freedom of where the conversation goes. And also I don't have to invent the terrible questions.
Yeah, and I like that, you know, you click on a part of the transcript, it'll automatically take you to that part of the video. Super
Yes.
helpful.
Yeah. I think that's really great. I hate personally as when I'm a student, when I'm like, I know a video talked about this and I like can't find, like you have to like watch the whole thing over because you can't find where it was.
Yep.
So I think that's a great way just to like tell our students to make note of important concepts and things like that. And then I just also threw in the idea here. I know this isn't the focus of this session, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, but I did link how to add links, images, and videos to annotations themselves as well. Because like I said, I think that multimedia aspect and bringing in those multiple means of representation can be very helpful to enhancing student comprehension of the content. And then getting creative with multimedia annotations. I've heard from a lot of faculty that having students add memes to their annotations is like a creative way to get them engaged with the text. So I just wanted to throw that in there. All right, so I have some basics on here of the how to get started with Hypothesis. I won't go through the specific things here because most of you are familiar with Hypothesis. What we're really adding here is the YouTube video transcripts. And thanks, David, for dropping in that meme generator. That's a great tool for students to get creative. So now on top of the traditional documents that students can annotate, like PDFs and web pages, they can annotate the YouTube video transcripts. And then Hypothesis and Blackboard resources, I just always like to link these if you need assistance with creating your hypothesis assignment in Blackboard Ultra, but we'll walk through how to set up a YouTube video transcript assignment in Blackboard Ultra, excuse me. So I'm gonna hop into my Blackboard course. And I would set this up basically the same way I would a traditional hypothesis enabled assignment. So I would click on the little plus sign to add it to, you know, whatever content area I would like to have it in. And then I'll go to the content market. And once I'm in the content market, then I will find Hypothesis. I have many versions of it here. You'll only have one version of it. And I will click on the little plus sign. So instead of clicking on this whole box, I want to make sure that I'm clicking on the plus sign in the lower right-hand corner. And that will kind of create the shell for my assignment. The first thing I'll want to do is edit this assignment by clicking on the three, like the little ellipses on the right, to give it a better name and set up my assignment instruction, or like the settings of the assignment, I should say, not instructions, but I'll create this week 1 lecture annotation assignments. And then if I want to enable grading, I can do that. Actually, let's see if this is. And then I will save that there. I'll make it visible, and then I can click after that the settings are created. I would actually click on the assignment to link it to a YouTube video. So I click on that here, and then you'll see now that YouTube is one of the options that come up when you're going to create your hypothesis enabled reading. I call it hypothesis enabled reading, and I have to think of a better word for that now since you can be using a video. So I have a YouTube video pulled up over here. When you have your YouTube video ready to go, all you need is the share URL. So I can copy that URL here, go back to my hypothesis assignment, and then click on YouTube. And then I will just paste the YouTube in, the URL, and then click on the little arrow, just verifying that it's like a real video that exists. Click continue. And the rest of this process, again, the same as a traditional hypothesis assignment. I will leave this blank so that it's a whole class annotation. Click continue, and then my hypothesis enabled reading is set up. So this is basically ready to go. So I can follow along with the annotations and, annotate as I'm watching the video. There are some other examples of starter assignments linked here if you want ideas for other instructions. The YouTube video annotation assignment is on that page if you're interested in using that. But that's really the basics of the YouTube video annotation. It's not too complex as far as new features go because it's using so much of what already exists with Hypothesis. Does anyone have any questions about how best to implement this, or about the setup process, or any other technical kind of details, or pedagogical? Either one.
Yeah, I don't see any questions, but I think this is a great use of Hypothesis, besides articles. It just really makes a course a lot more engaging. I know we've been going through Quality Matters certifications for our online courses, and we've had so many faculty members use a lot of YouTube videos, but let's have the students actually engage with those videos.
Yeah, that's awesome. And we're actually doing tomorrow at
Okay.
2 p.m. Eastern. I'm kind of like taking a very similar idea from this workshop, and we're expanding on it. So we're doing hypothesis multimedia features, and doing a more full look at universal design for learning. So if anyone's interested in that I'll pop this into the chat that we're having that tomorrow at 2 p.m. So
Thank you.
yeah, I think it's a great way, again, to like easily add the engagement to your lecture videos in a way that doesn't take as much setup or labor for you, and can ensure that the students are watching the videos and engaging with each other.
Yep.
So just some reminders of the resources here. So you can find lots of resources in the slides on how to learn more about Hypothesis. Our 2 asynchronous Hypothesis Academy courses are linked. So David's recently been going through those and is doing our social annotation in the age of AI right now. So we'll be still running cohorts throughout the end of the fall and through the spring term as well. Our partner workshops, like the one I just linked, we have them kind of at varying times. So I should really take this time out here. But 2 p.m. tomorrow, we'll be doing the UDL one. And then my email is at the end. So please feel free if you have any questions that come up as you're using the new YouTube feature or anything else, to let me know how I can help.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Christy. And I just want to put a couple links in the chat box. I know many of you will be watching the recording. So if you do have any questions for us, for the C.A.L team, our email is calhelpdesk@udc.edu. I will be uploading this webinar recording onto our YouTube channel, which you can find in the second link. And then the third link is our survey. Please let us know what we did well or what other webinars you'd like to see in the future. Does anyone on this call have any questions for us? Yeah, I know Dr. Schweitzer's on the call. He is a great faculty member. He just went through the QM certification process. He got one of his courses QM certified. Congratulations.
That's awesome. Yeah, congrats. It's a lot.
It is a lot.
So that's a great accomplishment.
Yeah, Christy, before we conclude, what are some of the key takeaways you hope the audience gained from this webinar?
I think the key takeaways would be how to set up and annotate a YouTube video, as well as how you can use multimedia as part of universal design for learning in your courses.
Excellent. Yeah, and I do also want to recommend the Hypothesis Academy. For me, I learned so much in the first cohort, or the first course I did. I am doing the AI one now. I just started this morning, so I'm super excited about that to share with our faculty. But thank you again, Christy, for your time today. This was a great webinar. I'm hoping that more faculty start using Hypothesis in this way with YouTube videos, but thank you again. for your time.
Awesome. Thanks so much for having me.
Yep. So thank you, everyone, and we hope to see you very soon for one of our next webinars. Have a good day.
Take care, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.